Hey Joseph, I hope that this little video I made you is gonna, give you some help in putting together the sauce and meatballs. I know you have some great skills in making meatballs, and if I could find that video, I'll put it in this also. But if you have any other questions, I'm always a call or a text away, and wish you a lot of luck with it. And just remember, you got to just always watch the pot. Don't be starting a sauce and, get involved in something else. You know what I mean? You just got to stay there and, stir the sauce when you need to, which is about every 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, so I love you and good luck. These are meatballs that were baked in the oven at 400 degrees, 15 minutes each side. So if these are all fully baked, but all you have to do is when you take them out, you just flip them over, and you don't have to be exactly flipped over, they're round, and you bake it another 15 minutes. Or you cook them till they look like this in the frying pan at very, very low. Okay? And as soon as they start browning up, you just do the same thing. But also, when they go in a sauce, and that's when they finish cooking if they have to, and that's where they get nice and soft too. Okay, and this is one of a few videos I'm going to send you. Put enough oil to cover the bottom of the pot, like that. Chop the onion like this. I cut it in half and then cut it as you see. And as you chop the onion, you have the oil heating up. Okay? Okay. When the onions are in a little bit, then we add the garlic, because the garlic has a tendency to cook quicker, and you don't want to burn the garlic. So we'll peel the garlic. And we'll mince it the same way. Now once your onions are a little brown like that and the garlic okay, then we'll start adding all the liquids. And then you also turn up the heat as you put the liquids in. Now I've added the sauce, and now I'm going to add the crushed tomatoes, the diced tomatoes, and the paste. And then we're going to add the seasoning. And then I take the biggest can and I fill it up with water and put that in. And then about a cup of red wine. And then a quarter of a cup of Italian seasoning. And I'll also add about a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and garlic powder. About a teaspoon. I had to change the pot and use a bigger pot. Because, you know, you're going to be adding the meatballs and sausage if you want. And there's also a pinch of sugar. You know, like a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar. Now I have it on medium. When it starts to come to a boil, then I'll put it on simmer. And when it's on simmer, you have to find the lowest burner, you know, on your stove. And that's what you keep it on, because now we're going to just let it simmer there for 2 hours. And you got to keep on stirring it like every 15 minutes because the sauce could burn to the bottom of the pot. We don't want that, okay? So you got to keep on moving it around, okay? And that's where that saying comes, a cook has to watch the pot. Okay. Now I already browned the sausage and put them in. And yeah, there you go. And so now you see it's starting to boil. Now this is when I'll put it down to low to simmer, and I'll move it to the smallest burner on the stove and just let it, like I said, you let it simmer and you stir it, and after about like an hour and a half, then you could put your meatballs in it, because then you cook like another hour after that. And then, you know, you want to make sure that as it's cooking that it stays the consistency you like. Either, you know, like now you see, it'll cook and it'll become thicker as it boils off the water and the wine. And you go by taste, and you've tasted it enough to know how you want it. Now see, that's my lowest flame, because you want it on that low and not that low. So if you got something as low as that one, you'd be fine. And I'll show you again once it gets back up to the simmer. Okay, so now there you see it simmering on the lowest flame, and we're going to let it do that for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and stirring it every maybe 10-15 minutes. And the only thing I didn't put in yet was I'm going to put some bay leaves, and if you get your hands on some fresh basil. I have that growing in my yard, so maybe I'll send that to you too. Won't be so fresh, but you know, it'd be dried basil maybe, but still good to use. Okay, and that's the bay leaves, and we'll just stir them in. Now I'll get some fresh basil from the yard. And here's the fresh basil. I just rinsed it off, and now just break it up a little bit. And then I'll add this into the sauce. And also with a little Italian parsley. If you get your hands on that, chop it up, and you could add that too. And about that much chopped parsley. Okay? Now, this is how I like my sauce, you see? See how it's kind of thick? But you could always add water to thin it out. Okay? Now that's been cooking for about 2.5 hours. I mean, yeah, about 2 hours, 2.25 hours. So I say it's done. Okay?